Hi traders, this is Kingdom Trade 001 Zulu Trade Signal Provider, and I just wanted to run through with you my big picture planning for the week. Now the big news that's coming out next week is the OPEC oil deal, and I'm going to be trying to trade into this event and out of the event. Now last week there was a lot of rumours about whether the OPEC deal would actually be reached, and towards the end of the week Saudi Arabia refused to meet with non-OPEC oil producers, and Iran was showing that it was potentially very reluctant to agree to sign the deal to cut production. Now the interest in agreeing to cut the production of oil is that if the supply of oil is limited to the market, it means that the price of oil will rise. And the way currency traders can take advantage of that move is we can trade currencies that react to that data. So in very simple terms, if oil rises, the price of oil rises, then the price of the Canadian dollar will rise as well. And if oil drops, then the price of the Canadian dollar will fall. So what's expected to happen is uncertain at this stage. However, I think there's a possibility that a deal will not be reached. And I also think that even if a deal is reached, that the reaction to that deal may be limited. And the reason is there was an interesting article on Forex Live last week. A gentleman called Wheel Mardy had written a book about OPEC. And what he noticed in his book is that the OPEC oil producing countries tend to overproduce 96% of the time anyway. So any deal to cut production that's reached will in all likelihood not be fully honoured. So the actual impact of an OPEC deal, even if it does go through, is likely to be muted. So this is how I'm going to try to take advantage of this trade next week. I'm going to trade the pound CAD pair. And I like the pound CAD pair because the pound has shown its resilience since Brexit, with the quarterly data coming out at the end of last week. It's shown that Britain has been able to grow outside of Europe. That's the first bit of data that confirms that. So that's, in the short term at least, a bullish sentiment for the pound. Now the pound is arguably overpriced. But then you could also make an equal case to say that the pound is undervalued. So you've got to be cautious with the pound, particularly at the moment, and different analysts are really saying different things. Just got to have that in mind. However, what I really like here is I have a green crossing red. I have a green bar breaking outside of these inside bars. We have a broad uptrend from left to the right of the chart. We have a support level. And what I like about this is there's a lot of clear space up to the next swing point. So I'm going to be entering at market price, my stop in my usual place, down below the usual swing point. And I'm going to be trading up towards this 1.7 level. Now this is I'll be opening this trade on Monday. I'll be hoping that price will be testing this 1.7 level around Wednesday as we wait for the OPEC news to come out. Now, if OPEC don't make a deal, then that's going to be bullish pound CAD, because the price of oil is in all likelihood going to continue to fall as production keeps on producing. Price of oil drops and the Canadian dollar loses value and the pound CAD increases in value. So that's my trade. I'm looking at that. I'll be entering that Sunday evening, put my stops and just be forgetting about that. Now, when will I pull my stops out on that? I won't wait for price to hit my stop. In all likelihood, I'll see a close down below this level would confirm to me that I'm not wanting to be in this trade anymore. But I'll be risking 1% of my account on that trade. The other trade that I'll be taking is carrying on with my Aussie US dollar position. I noticed the next week there's a lot of data out for the US. There's not that much for the Australian dollar. So there's a lot of potential for this bearish Aussie US dollar move to continue on. There's a potential, as Trump continues appointing his cabinet, if he appoints someone for the Treasury and Commerce and maybe a commercial trade representative who is linking in to this feeling that Trump is going to pursue a quick and more rapid expansion that's going to lead to a rising inflation, which in turn will mean the Fed will have to raise rates quicker than anticipated. If that is the case, then Aussie US dollar may well continue its downward move. I like this chart because there's a lot of space for it to move into. So this is how I'm going to play that chart. I'm going to be entering in when a signal occurs on the 4-hour chart. I tried to get in last week a 4-hour chart here, and as price went further up, I thought, I'm not sure how this retrace is going to go, and it was towards the end of the week, and I was already in profit on other positions, so I just pulled those. But I will enter again if we get a signal on the 4-hour chart for the Aussie US dollar. I also like the Euro US dollar. I'll be looking at this. This kind of level put me off last week, this 1.0500. This kind of level. It's a big support level. But look, price is slamming down. There's a lot of data out for the US next week. That'll be the week that the trend will continue in all likelihood. So again, here for the Euro US dollar, I'm just keeping an eye on the weekly, keeping an eye on the daily, keeping an eye on the 4-hour, and I'll be trying to be flexible to that. That is the only other pair I'm looking at really, and in a lot of detail, is EURUSD, because the EURUSD again is sitting above a really key level here. If you go out, you see, look at this 1.4200. A break of 1.4200 would be very, very significant. I like this. I like the idea of a break of here. I'll be looking on the daily chart to get indication of that, and if I see that, I'll be entering short EURUSD as well. And also on the Wednesday, I'll be looking any CAD pair to try to trade out of the deal. So if there is a deal or there isn't a deal, that will in all likelihood present opportunities. Okay, traders, that's what I'm looking at. They're my main things. The other things I'll be looking at is any yen pair that's in continuation with a trend on the daily chart. I'll be quite happy to buy into that as well. Okay, traders, have a good week. Trade profitably, trade safely, and if you like my video, hit like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and you won't miss a video. Thank you. Have a good week now. Bye.